Welcome back to my channel, Celeb Buzz. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. Why Angie Dickinson still won't watch this one episode. She made it in 1959. Angie Dickinson was born as Angeline Brown on September 30th, 1931 in Cole, North Dakota. She grew up in a simple home. Angie was the second of 4 girls born to Fred Rika and Leo Henry Brown. Her dad was a small town newspaper owner. He moved the family to Burbank, California when Angie was 10 years old. He wanted better chances during the Great Depression. This big move would help Angie get into show business later, though she didn't know it yet. Dickinson's early years were about school and wanting to write like her dad. After finishing Bellarine Jefferson High School in Burbank, she went to Glendale Community College. Later, she got a business degree from Immaculate Heart College in Los Angeles. At first, she wanted to be a writer or news reporter. But things changed when in 1953, she joined a local beauty contest just for fun and came in as a top winner in the Miss America tryouts. This got her noticed and led to small TV roles. Her natural charm and pretty looks quickly got casting directors interested. Angie Dickinson became famous slowly but surely. She started in movies in 1954 in a Warner Brothers crime movie called Lucky Me. Then she was in a bunch of Western movies, which became what she was known for early on. She often played strong, tough women who weren't helpless like many female characters back then. Her big break came in 1959 with Howard Hawks' famous Western Rio Bravo. She starred with John Wayne and Dean Martin. As Feathers, the flirty but smart card player, Dickinson held her own against 2 of Hollywood's biggest male stars. She showed the mix of being attractive and smart that would become her special thing. During 1960S and 1970S, Angie Dickinson became a top actress in both movies and TV shows. She was in all kinds of movies, from the scary thriller The Killers in 1964 to the cool heist movie Ocean's 11 in 1960 with Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack. She became close friends with Sinatra, which made her seem even more glamorous as someone who moved easily through Hollywood and rich social groups. But even though she was beautiful and famous, Dickinson was never just a pretty face. Directors liked her because she could show real emotions, while fans loved how deep and real she seemed on screen. Her most lasting and groundbreaking role came in 1974 when she played Sergeant Suzanne Pepper Anderson in the TV show Policewoman. The show ran until 1978 and was amazing for its time. It had a woman in a serious law enforcement job, something rarely seen on TV back then. Dickinson's acting as the tough but caring detective got her great reviews, a Golden Globe Award, and several Emmy nominations. More importantly, she inspired many women to think about careers in law enforcement and proved that a woman could lead a primetime drama show by herself. Policewoman helped make way for future female-led police and action series. In later years, Dickinson stayed a respected and admired person in Hollywood. She kept acting sometimes into the 1990s and early 2000s, appearing in notable projects like Dress to Kill in 1980, where her performance as a sexually frustrated housewife got her great reviews. In 2001, she was in Brian Dielma's Big Bad Love and made guest appearances on TV, including a cameo on Family Guy that showed her sense of humor and self-awareness. Even as she got older, Dickinson kept the grace and elegance that made her a style icon. She often appeared at film events and award shows where she was honored for her trailblazing contributions to both film and television. Today, Angie Dickinson stands as a true pioneer. She helped change the role of women in media, proving that female characters could be complex, commanding, and central to a story. Her influence can be seen in generations of actresses who followed her path, from Sharon Glass in Cagney and Lacey to Marissa Hargitay in Law & Order SVU. She reminds us that beauty and brains aren't opposite, and that lasting success is built on more than just good looks. It's about talent, being able to do different things, and having the courage to take on roles that challenge what's normal. Angie Dickinson was first married to Gene Dickinson, a college football player whose strong athletic build and charming personality had made him stand out on the football field during his college years. They got married in 1952 when Angie was just starting to get noticed in Hollywood, and Gene later changed from sports to working in the electronics business. Though they looked like a glamorous young couple in the early 1950s, their relationship had problems as Dickinson's fame began to grow quickly. The couple eventually separated in 1956, only 4 years into their marriage. Even though their divorce wasn't final until 1960, despite their relationship ending, Angie chose to keep her married name Dickinson, which by then had already become closely connected with her growing TV and film career. That name would become famous in the entertainment world. During this time, Angie Dickinson also became good friends with respected economist and diplomat John Kenneth Galbraith and his wife Catherine. The Galbraiths, who were well respected in smart and political circles, gave Angie a look into a very different world, one of academics, diplomacy, and international affairs. Her friendship with the Galbraiths led to visits to their home and eventually to travels that really enriched her life. Most importantly, Dickinson went with the Galbraiths on various trips, while John served as the United States ambassador to India from 1961 to 1963 under President John F. Kennedy. These visits and experiences are described in great detail in Galbraith's memoirs, Ambassador's Journal, and A Life in Our Times, where Dickinson is mentioned not just as a Hollywood star, but as a thoughtful and interested visitor who really cared about the cultures and politics of the places she visited. These interactions showed how deep Dickinson's intelligence and curiosity were, qualities not always recognized in a job that often focused on beauty over brains. 1965, Dickinson got married for the second time, this time to famous composer and songwriter Burt Bacharach, a major force in American popular music. Known for writing many timeless hits and working with artists like Dionne Warwick and Dusty Springfield, Bacharach brought with him a world of creative brilliance and musical innovation. Together, Dickinson and Bacharach formed one of the most glamorous and talked about couples of the time, often appearing in the pages of Life, People, and Time magazines. Their marriage lasted for 16 years, a pretty long time in the entertainment industry, although it wasn't without its problems. In the later years of their marriage, the couple went through a time of separation during which both had relationships with other people, yet there was always a connection between them, a lasting bond made stronger by the birth of their daughter. On July 12, 1966, Angie gave birth to their only child, Leah Nikki Bacharach, whom they lovingly called Nikki. From the early age, Nikki showed signs of autism, though at the time, public understanding of autism was limited and ways to diagnose it were still being developed. Dickinson and Bacharach dedicated themselves to her care, going through a journey filled with emotional, medical, and practical challenges. Nikki faced a difficult life marked by struggles with mental health and the limitations caused by her condition. Angie in particular took on the role of her main advocate and caregiver, stepping away from many work opportunities to focus on her daughter's needs. Tragically, Nikki took her own life on January 4, 2007 at the age of 40, leaving behind grieving parents who had fought hard to give her comfort and stability. Dickinson later described this loss as the most painful experience of her life, heartbreak from which she would never fully recover. Burt Bacharach, whose life and career were also deeply shaped by their daughter's life, passed away in 2023, leaving behind a legacy of music and complex family ties. In the 1980s, Angie found new companionship in her relationship with singer and songwriter Billy Vera, best known for his soulful hit At This Moment. Their romance was more lighthearted and creatively charged, and Dickinson even appeared in the music video for Vera's 1981 song, I Can Take Care of Myself. The video showed Angie not just as an actress, but as a confident and mature woman, unafraid to embrace pop culture and her enduring appeal. Their time together was brief but meaningful, representing a chapter in Angie's life where she re-engaged with the entertainment scene from a fresh contemporary angle. Later, during the 1990s, Dickinson entered another high-profile relationship, this time with legendary broadcaster Larry King. Known for his gravelly voice and no-nonsense interviewing style, King was a household name, hosting his long-running talk show Larry King Live on CNN. Dickinson and King were seen together at public events and quickly became one of the more talked-about couples in media circles. Their relationship, although it didn't lead to marriage, was one of mutual respect and admiration. King often spoke glowingly of Angie's intelligence, grace, and liveliness. While she appreciated his wit and journalistic mind, though their romance eventually ended, they remained on good terms and continued to speak fondly of one another in interviews. Even decades after its release, legendary actress Angie Dickinson has openly admitted that she still refuses to watch the 1959 Western classic Rio Bravo, a film that marked a major turning point in her career. Though Rio Bravo is widely regarded as one of the most famous westerns in Hollywood history and holds a beloved place in the hearts of countless fans, Dickinson herself has deeply personal and emotional reasons for avoiding watching it. Her reluctance comes not only from her own self-criticism about her young performance in the film, but also from the lasting memories it brings up, especially those involving her co-star teen idol Ricky Nelson. At the time she was cast in Rio Bravo, Angie Dickinson was still a rising star, just beginning to make a name for herself in Hollywood. She had already had several supporting roles on TV and in small movies, but Rio Bravo marked her first major role opposite screen giants like John Wayne and Dean Martin. Dickinson played the role of Feathers, a spirited and flirtatious gambler who becomes romantically involved with Wayne's character, Sheriff John T. Chance. For a young actress still finding her way, sharing the screen with such famous names was as scary as it was exciting. Dickinson has since admitted that while filming the movie, she often felt insecure about her acting abilities and worried that she hadn't yet developed the skills to match her powerful co-stars. She viewed her performance as raw and uneven, an opinion that haunted her for years, and one of the reasons she finds it difficult to watch the film even now. But the emotional complexity of Rio Bravo doesn't stop with her self-criticism. Another deeply personal reason Angie Dickinson avoids watching the film involves the late Ricky Nelson, who was just 18 years old when he took on the role of Colorado Ryan, a talented young gunslinger who joins forces with Wayne and Martin's characters. At the time of filming, Nelson was already a household name, thanks to his musical success and his role on the family sitcom The Adventures of Azzie and Harriet. Despite the age difference, Dickinson was in her late 20s. They developed a warm and sincere friendship on set, bonded by the shared experience of working on a high-pressure, big-budget Hollywood production. Over the years, Dickinson has spoken with tenderness and nostalgia about Ricky Nelson, often calling him a kind, gentle soul whose quiet charm and natural talent made him a joy to be around. His tragic death in a plane crash in 1985 at the young age of 45 left a lasting mark on Dickinson. And watching Bravo would mean seeing again the face and voice of a young man frozen in time, someone she remembers not just as a co-star, but as a bright light who left the world far too soon. For Dickinson, the pain of that loss stays with her, making it emotionally overwhelming to see Nelson again in the bloom of youth, full of promise and innocence. There's also a bittersweet quality to Rio Bravo for Dickinson in terms of how it captures a particular moment in her life and career, a time of youthful hope, professional insecurity, and personal discovery. Watching the film would mean revisiting not only the highs of working with legends like Howard Hawks, John Wayne, and Dean Martin, but also the doubts and uncertainties that troubled her as a young actress navigating a male-dominated industry. The experience, though ultimately foundational to her future success, remains bittersweet, a reminder of both how far she came and how much she had to endure along the way. So while audiences may continue to celebrate Rio Bravo as a masterpiece of the Western genre, Angie Dickinson has made peace with leaving it in the past. To her, it's more than just a film. This is a deeply emotional time capsule filled with personal triumphs, lingering insecurities, and the haunting memory of a young man taken too soon. And for that reason, she continues to keep that particular episode of her life unwatched. After decades of quiet reflection and guarded privacy, Angie Dickinson, the famous actress whose bright career spanned more than half a century, has finally broken her silence about Ricky Nelson, a name that brings up memories of the golden age of rock and roll and early TV stardom. For years, rumors and speculation swirled around their connection, but Angie, known for her grace and discretion, chose to keep the details locked away, protecting both her own reputation and the memory of the late singer. Now, at the age of 93, she has decided that the time is right to share her perspective, shedding light on the truth behind the relationship and the emotional complexities that surrounded it. Angie's decision to speak openly marks a significant moment, not only for fans of classic Hollywood and vintage rock, but also for those who have long admired her ability to maintain dignity amid the swirling gossip of Tinseltown. Her revelations come with a deep sense of maturity and reflection, painting a detailed picture of a time when the pressures of fame and the demands of the entertainment industry shaped personal lives in deep ways. She recalls the youthful energy and magnetic charm Ricky Nelson had, his effortless ability to captivate audiences both on screen and in concert, and the sincere kindness that made him beloved by so many, including herself. But Angie also touches on the darker realities, the loneliness behind the spotlight, the strains of celebrity life, and the inevitable heartaches that came with loving someone so constantly in the public eye. She describes how their paths crossed at a pivotal moment in both their careers and personal journeys, creating a connection that was as intense as it was complicated. Her reflections delved into the challenges they faced, the misunderstandings that arose, and the deep respect that endured even after their relationship shifted into the realm of memory. By finally opening up, Angie offers a heartfelt tribute to Ricky Nelson, not just as a legendary entertainer, but as a human being who, like all of us, navigated love, loss, and the search for meaning. In recounting these memories, Angie also acknowledges the impact that the silence had on her own life, how keeping her feelings private shaped her experiences, and how in some ways it has been a form of protection and survival. Now, with the wisdom of age and perspective, she embraces vulnerability as strength, allowing fans and historians alike to glimpse the person behind the headlines and the persona. This rare glimpse into her heart and mind is a powerful reminder of the complexities of human relationships, especially within the intense, often unforgiving glare of fame. Ultimately, Angie Dickinson's decision to break her silence is an act of courage and grace, a testament to her enduring spirit and her desire to honor the truth. It invites us all to reconsider what we think we know about the lives of celebrities, urging compassion and understanding in place of speculation. Through her words, Ricky Nelson's legacy gains a new dimension, one that celebrates not just his extraordinary talent, but the intricate, often hidden emotional tapestry that defined his life and those who loved him.